So you've probably heard of sharks and you've heard of rays, but have you heard of a shark ray? I hadn't until now. The Shed Aquarium is talking about them. It is Shark and Ray Awareness Day this weekend, and they're introducing Chicagoans to 2 rare residents. They're critically endangered. They're very hard to find, which is probably why we haven't heard of them. And they're growing fast in Shed's Wild Reef exhibit. So we want to introduce you to Heather Urbaniak. She is a senior aquarist at the Shed. Heather, thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
So tell us all about these shark rays.
Well, so they're this very prehistoric, rare creature. You'll see we're going to do a feeding with them here in a couple minutes. So you guys can get like an up-close look at them. But they're like the perfect mix between that shark and a ray. They're kind of where the two come together and meet. Technically, they're more closely related to a ray than they are a shark. If you look at them, they have their gills are underneath them like a ray. Their eyes are on top of their head like a ray. But they do have that shark-looking tail, so it can be a little deceiving. The most remarkable thing about them is we call them dorsal spines. That's a very formal term for it, but on top of their heads, these have these rows and ridges of what looks like teeth. So when they come up, pay attention to that. It's really, really cool. They have massive, huge heads. They're very, very wide. So yeah, and they're critically endangered. So we're trying to do our part to help them here at Shed.
Can you speak to that a little bit more? So shark rays, why are they endangered? Where can we find these shark rays, and what's affecting their population?
Yeah, so they are like Indo-Pacific animals, like coastlines of the Indo-Pacific and also around the Indian Ocean. A major part of what's impacting them is human impact. Fishing, accidental catches of fishes, bycatch, also habitat loss. The area that they come from in the world, there's not a lot of protections from fishing for these guys. So, which we're trying to work on here at Shed. But yeah, that's a huge part of the reason that they're not doing well in the wild. It's mostly human impact.
Heather, where did the 2 that are at the Shed come from?
The 2 from Shed were actually basically rescued from Taiwan. So their mother was caught by a fisherman in Taiwan, and while the mother was in a holding pool at the fishing center, she gave birth to 9 pups. One of our partners in Taiwan was contacted about it, and he reached out to a bunch of zoos and aquariums because that area of the world, releasing them, they would just end up getting most likely caught again and caught up in the fishing trade. So a bunch of us basically were from zoos and aquariums in the United States. The 9 pups are now living. So we have 2 of them here at Shed.
So with those 2, obviously they're siblings, so they can't procreate. But are you guys planning on trying to breed them because they're endangered?
That's the goal eventually. So we have 2 sisters right now. So right now, obviously we don't have the potential to do that. But yes, there's a big consortium of international group of people that are trying to work together to conserve the species and, move animals around to get couples together.
So Heather, show us how you feed them and what you feed them.
Yeah. Okay. So they are very fancy. They have a really, really nice diet of very expensive seafood.
Wow.
All of their food is restaurant quality. So that's Maine lobster tails that they get, salmon, and then shrimp, and then some squid, so calamari. Becca is helping me here too. So she's putting in right now, they get multivitamins as well. So there's actually specially formulated multivitamins made for sharks and rays. So that's what she's putting in their food right now.
And props to her for not wearing gloves. Because
Oh, yeah,
I'd be worried that my
we
hands
are
would smell
all
like
in
fish all day.
here at the Shed.
Yeah.
We are used to doing this every day, so it's no big deal. So this is the shape that we use. So basically, this is a marker for her to say, like, okay, it's time to eat. Come on up.
No
She's
way.
pacing around down below us, so she will be coming up here. It just might take her a minute to realize we're starting to
I
feed.
cannot wait to see this
This
shark
is so
ray.
cool that
Yeah.
they understand.
So
that
yeah,
this
when
is the
she
sign.
comes up, Becca's you'll see, like, she has these really amazing ridges on her head. And she's huge. She's about 250 pounds. We just did exams on them, about 7 feet long.
Wow.
She's only a couple years old. So it's a really, really incredible.
How
I'm
come
seeing
the
sharks too?
Yeah,
like
how
real
come the
sharks.
other animals in there are not eating that?
Well, you see right now there's a zebra shark stopping by because
Oh.
he knows sometimes food gets dropped, but all of our sharks are trained, just like dolphins and whales. All of our sharks are trained to come to a station. Um, so the zebra sharks already were fed this morning. So, but he thinks he wants more. So he knows sometimes food gets dropped, and he's going to try
Yeah.
to
Do you think?
potentially get some more. So here's
Oh, the
the
shark
bow
ray.
mouth. So I don't know if you can hear.
Oh,
Wow, my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
so she's really big.
Wow, she's
really
just
cool.
grabbing. Wow.
See the big kind of mohawk looking on her head that comes up? That's her dorsal spines that we're talking about. Um, Unfortunately, that dorsal spine is used like when they are caught in the fishing trade. That's made into jewelry and things like that too.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that's another thing that, yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah, they're both trained to come to station to eat from us. It helps us to, take closer looks at them and take better care of them, monitor what they're actually consuming. Because as you can imagine, it'd be very difficult if we just threw food in here.
Can you tell them
wouldn't really be able to
apart?
track. Can you tell them? Absolutely. Yeah, she's got a little white spot on her left pectoral fin. That's how we tell her apart from her sister. So we can tell all of them apart. All the zebra sharks have unique spot patterns. The sandbar sharks have, little notches out of their pec fins and things like that. So here she is again. But yeah, we tell all of our animals apart, and they're actually all, because we do know them as individuals, they're all very unique, even within species. Certain individuals like to eat certain things, they like to eat certain ways. They're unique, just like you and me, and I think we get to know that here at the aquarium because we get to work with them so closely.
That's amazing, and it just goes to show how important and how valuable they are. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, they are.
Heather, this is really remarkable. If people want to go see them up close and personal for themselves, where can they see them at the shed?
Yeah, so the bowmouth guitarfish live in the wild reef exhibit, the large shark habitat in the wild reef exhibit at the aquarium. So anytime you come here, she's on exhibit right now, so you can see her swimming around.
I have a question. With the aquarium spaces that have sharks as well as the other fish, this is going to be a silly question. Do you ever worry
No such thing.
that the sharks are going to get a little feisty and eat some of their neighbors?
Yeah, of course. That's like a consideration when you're putting in predators and with potential prey, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of thought and planning and experience going into planning a collection of animals is what we call it. So we know oftentimes from doing it ourselves or from talking to other people what animals work well together and what don't. So we try to set them up for as much success as possible. It also helps too that we do target feed our sharks. So just like humans, sharks are going to take the easier meal. They don't want to work hard and chase around their food. They'd rather come up and get the fast food that we're giving them.
Yeah.
So they generally are going to go for that, what we offer them. So
Can I
yeah,
ask
it
another
doesn't
question?
happen as often as you would think.
Just because we're getting this behind the scenes. Sorry, Natalie, I've got
That's
so
okay.
many random
I
questions.
know. That's all
Okay.
right. They're pretty amazing.
So cleaning these tanks, I know you guys probably have an automated system, but do any of the members on your staff have to actually get in the tank with all these sharks to clean it?
Yeah, that's actually, we don't have anything automated. It's all human.
You're
So
kidding.
we, Becca's actually getting in after this to dive. So we have divers going in, about 4 divers going in a couple days a week in this habitat. These are animals that are used to divers going in. We also are very responsible about how we feed and where we feed. That's why we feed from the surface, so they're not associating divers with food. And yeah, they're a good group of sharks.
So cute.
No problem.
Heather, tell me
Yeah.
about the Shark Ray 360 program.
Yeah, so I touched on that a little bit, like when we talked about how we're working as a group with like basically an international community of aquariums. And the reason it's called 360 is usually when we're doing conservation efforts, the aquarium will work on its own, and it's an in-aquarium sort of situation, but we're also working in an outside of aquarium situation as well with wild animals. Some of our researchers are actually in the field trying to figure out, the first first shark ray that's ever been cracked was by shed within the past year.
Wow.
I think about a year and a half. So like, this is how little is known about these animals. So we, in order to properly protect them, we need to know where they're moving in the oceans. And in order to do that, you have to track where they go. And that's what we need field researchers for. And also natural diet, things like that. We don't know a lot of this stuff. We have a few, pieces of information, but the more we can get, the better we can care for them, the better we can conserve them.
I have another question too. We call them shark rays. We've been saying shark ray, but why are they called bowmouth guitarfish too?
So it's actually bowmouth, like a bow and
Bowmouth.
arrow, like a bowmouth. So the reason that they're called bowmouths is because their mouth is actually shaped like a long bow. And if you look at their head and their peck, it's shaped like a long bow. So that's another, they have many names. They're bowmouth guitarfish, they're shark rays. We call them rhina here too, because that's the genus part of their scientific names. So there's all sorts of names you could call these guys, but yeah, that's why they're called bowmouth.
I was reading here that they're rare and difficult to see in the wild. Is that because they live way down deep where humans don't usually go, or why?
No, it's because there's not a lot of them left. So they actually, and the reason that there isn't a lot of them left is they don't live deep. They live in pretty shallow water, which makes them easier to catch. So I think, I read, I don't know, in the past several years, they're an 80% population, gone of their population is
Oh my
gone.
goodness.
So there's not many of them left. So hence why we need to start taking action. And it's not just bowmouths and shark rays. A lot of the shark relatives are in need of conservation help in the ocean. So we're really proud to be part of this project.
All right, Heather. Well, thank you so much. So I can't wait to come out and see the shark rays, the guitar. What was it?
Guitarfish.
The
Bowmouth
guitarfish.
guitarfish.
Bowmouth guitarfish. So Heather Urbaniak. Thank you so much.
Yep.